Good morning, we're here with Phil Chandler, the Barefoot Beekeeper, and Phil is renowned for keeping excellent top bar hives and native bees. So we're here down in Devon and we're going to have a look at one of his apiaries to see what he does. Which ones are we going to have a look at, Phil?
Well, we can have a look at there's a Zest Hive here, which might be of interest.
Oh, that'll be good. We've not seen in one of those recently.
Oh, there you go. There's a top bar hive with some bees in it over there. A few polynukes. There's an empty Layens hive. And there's a very busy Langstroth hive down by the shed. That's about all we've got to look at today.
Right, let's go and have a look at the Zest Hive, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go. So just talk us through what it is.
Yeah, so this is not in fact a tomb, although it looks rather like one.
It does look a bit like a coffin.
It's made from insulating blocks, which are the lightweight, I guess they're made from some kind of volcanic ash or some kind of factory waste. I really don't know what they're made from, but they're very lightweight and they're relatively soft. And this is constructed on a wooden base, obviously, to give it a foundation, and some of the bricks are cut just to make it fit. Otherwise, it's pretty much as it comes out.
And this is just a polystyrene roof, is it?
This is made from Celotex insulation material. Yeah, so it's an inch thick and 2 inches on the roof. So the roof is kind of double lined. That's just a drop over roof, but it's strapped on because it's windy here. It's light. This has got two entrances. It originally had two colonies in it. As you can see, the one's got a high entrance at this end and one's got a low entrance at this end.
Yeah, they're not interested in this one, are they?
They're not really using the low entrance now. In fact, I combined the two colonies in the end.
And have you got your eco floor in here as well?
No, this is purely as bare bricks. There's nothing in here at all other than bare bricks. They're pretty nice bees. These they don't like
the microphones though, so I'm going to put my hood up.
Yeah, they are attracted to microphones for some reason. I think they're a bit of a drama, drama queens really.
They want to be on film.
Yeah. So yeah, this seems to work. What can I say? It's been here for I think 3 years now, at least 3 years, might even be 4. But I've literally done nothing to them. I've just let them. They've got the run of the hive. They do what they like in there, and they seem to like it. What can I say? You can see they're busy.
They're certainly very busy.
Working the ivy at the moment.
Yep.
And I've literally done nothing to them. No treatments. Virtually no inspections. Certainly not this year. I literally haven't opened the hive this year.
Do you think it's a good time to open them?
No, probably not. It's getting a bit late now, and I'm happy to leave them over winter.
Yeah. So,
I think they'll probably go through another season quite happily. I don't know.
Excellent. So you never take any honey off this one?
I don't, largely because it's quite difficult because it uses those tall three section frames. It's like 3 supers vertically. So to get honey out, you'd have to take a frame out and cut
one of the
honey out, which you could do. You could use
just a messy thing to do in the apiary, though, isn't it?
Kind of messy. Yeah, you don't want to do it in the apiary.
Yeah.
So I really left them to it, really as an experiment, and I will hopefully in the spring open it and do a video and
that'd be good.
Check through it because I am curious to see what they've done in there now after all this time.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it seems to work. So.
And they definitely like that top entrance.
They do like the top entrance. Now, this is well, for want of a better word, the right-hand colony was the one that stayed put. The left-hand colony fizzled out for whatever reason. So I took the divider out and the right-hand colony basically took over. But it may be that because they've established their brood nest at that end,
they're staying up there.
That may be the reason that they tend to favour the high entrance.
And have you stuck the blocks together, or are they just sat on top of each other?
They are literally, gravity is the only thing holding that thing together.
And propolis.
Gravity and propolis, yes, quite right.
Wow. So Phil, how long have you been keeping bees?
This will be my 21st year, I suppose. Yeah,
And how did you get into it? Must have been a boy.
Oh, sweetie. No, I was quite late to beekeeping, really. I was my late 40s when I got into it. So, was it 40? Yes, it must have been.
That must make you nearly 80.
I'll be 70 next year.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
Scary thought.
See, Botox, sting Botox, it works.
Betox, betox. Yeah. So yes. So how did I get into beekeeping? I first got interested in it as a result of the 1990s anti-GM protests. That got me interested in the role of pollinators in agriculture, and so that kind of gradually veered into, well, you know, if I'm going to investigate this area, then an obvious way of doing that would be to keep bees.
Yep.
And I happened at the time to be living on the Dartington estate near Totnes, and the head gardener was a beekeeper, and he had some hives in the gardens there, and so I got chatting to him, and then I met a chap called Brian Gant, who was my first mentor, I would say. He lived in Buckfastleigh, and he helped me install my first swarm into some WBC hives, which I had at the time. And well, I suppose you could say the rest is history, but I struggled for a few years with national equipment, and at the same time I was investigating other ways of keeping bees. So I came across the top bar hive on the, you know, this is like the early years of the internet. There were only like 3 people in the world keeping top bar hives at that time. So I discovered top bar hives, and I thought, well, that's interesting. That's a lot simpler than all this stuff that I'm using now. You know, WBC hives, they're double walled hives.
Yeah.
So you've got like double the amount of woodwork to move around and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, you know, this isn't very close to what bees naturally live in. So how about we try these top bar hives? Yeah. So my first attempts at making top bar hives were pretty, how should we say, pretty crude, and yeah, you could say that. So I started off making vertical walled hives, and found that the bees glued their combs down both sides, and you just couldn't take them out. So that was obviously not going to work. And then I discovered the Kenyan hive, which is the V-shaped one, which made a lot more sense in many ways. And so I've been using them ever since in various forms. I've also kept up with, you know, I've got national hives here and a Langstroth here, you know. So I like to experiment, and I suppose I should call myself an experimental beekeeper, really, because I'm certainly not a commercial beekeeper, and I'm certainly not just a hobbyist, I think.
Yeah.
So I like to experiment and find out different things and see how bees behave in different hives. And
well, that's what it's all about. It's all how the bees behave,
absolutely,
isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
totally.
What we're here for.
That's my real interest. Is just in watching bees, seeing what they do in different conditions. As a bee, investigating the microphone right now. I'm not sure what they make of microphones with dead cats on them there.
So we're not far from Buckfast Abbey here. Did you ever have anything to do with Brother Adam? And
I never met Brother Adam, sadly. No, he died before I was interested in bees, but I did work at the Abbey for a year.
Right.
Back in early 2000s.
Was that interesting?
It was interesting, yeah. I did it because I wanted to learn about commercial beekeeping, and at the time they were running something like 400 hives.
Right.
And so we were kept pretty busy. There was only 2 of us working in hives, and yeah, it was hard work, and I learned a lot from it. One of the things I learned was that I didn't want to become a commercial beekeeper. So, and then I think probably several years after that, we're just being investigated here. Several years after that, or during those succeeding years from the Abbey, I developed my, not to give it too posh a word, philosophy of beekeeping a bit more, and realised that I really wanted to focus on, shall we say, bee-focused beekeeping, bee-oriented beekeeping, rather than
sustainable beekeeping and ethical.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious of that word, sustainable, these days. It's kind of gathered all kinds of shades of meaning, which I'm not sure are really appropriate. But Yeah, you could. I mean, yes, it is
In the right
purest sense.
context.
You could use
Yeah.
it. Yes, yes. So top bar hives are my real passion, as I would say. But I will experiment with all sorts of other things as well. I'm not completely focused on top.
So are we going to see any more books from you?
Ooh, now then, it's possible. Maybe one.
Yeah.
There might be another one in me.
Excellent. And some
There
more
might be.
videos coming out soon, hopefully.
More videos. Yeah. I've got some in the can.
TV programme?
TV. Ooh, probably not. No. Unless Oprah asks me nicely.
Well, see, I still think there's room for a naked beekeeper out there,
Yeah.
rather than just barefoot.
Yeah, we don't want to shock people too much. That might be one step too far. But yes.
So you're going to carry on keeping bees? No plans
no
to
plans to stop.
stop?
So yeah, I'm probably not going to expand. I'm probably not going to I'm not going to go beyond what I've got now, which is probably about 40 hives.
Do you go out and do talks as well?
I do
Schools?
talks. I teach. Yeah.
What else do you do?
What else do I do? Ooh.
Where can people buy your honey? Can they buy it locally?
Oh no.
No?
No, my honey is well. Most of it goes to my landlords, because all the apiaries are on farms or on private land.
Yep.
So I do give away a lot of honey.
Yep.
And I eat some, but I don't. Sometimes if I have a surplus, I might sell a bit, but I'm not really geared up for selling it, because that's a whole thing of itself. You've got to have, bottling equipment and labels and some kind of.
At the end of the day,
retailing.
it's the bees' honey. It's their food.
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So people can do courses with you. This is all available on your website.
On my website, biobees.com. Is the
Biobees.com.
website, yeah.
Right. So if anybody wants to do
On
any
Facebook,
training.
I'm on Facebook, much to many people's chagrin.
Wow, you've got a computer.
Afraid so, yeah.
That's a recent
sad, isn't it?
introduction, isn't it?
No, my computer's. I first used a computer in 1971.
Oh.
Aye. Tell that to young folk today, they wouldn't believe you, would they? We've got some nice juicy big spiders in here.
Oh, lovely.
Well, they were
I'll
at
just
that
stand
end.
here then and watch.
Yeah, you can see one just lurking under there.
Yeah, that'll eat you.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
If we just peel this apart, we can see. The bees are right up
there's
to
a
this
lot of
end.
bees in there.
Yeah.
Nice dark ones, aren't they?
These are dark bees. These are black bees. They seem to be quite happy in the top bar hive. They're busy working the ivy at the moment, and that'll be their top up winter. They're curious. They like to know what's going on, so they're coming out to meet us, but they're not slingy.
They just checked out that woodlouse then, and the woodlouse just stopped. They checked it, and then everyone carried on again.
Yeah, woodlice and earwigs seem to mix quite happily with bees. I've never seen fights between them.
No.
I should have brought my water spray to get them back in, but they'll find their way back down.
Go on, down you go.
We'll just have a quick peek at this end.
Go on.
But I think that, oops. Oh, there's a bit of space at this end, so they can fill these combs up as they please.
There we go. Everybody's home. Everybody's home, except you two. Go on.
They'll find their way.
Come on.
Good. So there's just a bit of Celotex on there. I will give them some better, some soft insulation in there as well, because Celotex is okay, but it doesn't sit cleanly on the bars.
Do you ever put mouse guards on the top bars? No.
Mainly because, if mice want in, they'll find a way.
We had them go in under the roof once, up the leg, under the roof.
Oh, they will.
Chewed through the Celotex, through the top bars, and the top bars, they were really thick ones, and got down, destroyed the whole lot.
It's not unusual to get mice nesting on top of the bars.
Yeah.
And I just leave them to it. They've got nice sort of
We've had tree bumblebees nesting on top of the bars this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We've had fluffy insulation on there, and they've made a nest in there.
No. I've never seen tree bumblebees nesting in a.
Yeah.
I've had hornets nesting in a top bar hive.
Really?
Yeah. which was fun.
I bet it was.
And what else is there? There's a Langstroth over by the shed there, which is very busy on the ivy as well.
Yes.
And the rest is fairly standard. There's a few national polyneuks which are nicely stocked, and I'll probably just leave them alone for the winter now. I might take one box of honey off that one, but I prefer to leave plenty.
I like to leave plenty, but I've had a situation where just after Christmas the winds get strong and they blow over, but like you say, they're well strapped to the hive stand, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a windy spot here because it faces southwest more or less, and that's where most of the weather comes from.
Yeah, but if you've got 3 boxes like that, it's great, because in the spring, May time, you can just do a walk-away split. You
Sure, absolutely.
Split it down onto a new floor and you've got a new colony, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing about these polyneuks. When you've got the extension boxes, you can actually exactly what you say. You can make splits directly from the hive very easily. So yeah, that's.
They are absolutely ideal.
Yeah. There's a lay-ins hive at the top there. We haven't got any bees in there yet. That's another one with deep frame, so I'm looking forward to trying that out next year.
So are they deeper than a 14 by 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how deep they are. I don't think they're quite as deep as the Zest, but they're heading in that direction.
And you're just going to put one colony in that?
Yeah, it's not big enough for 2. But the thing with the deep hives, of course, is that there's no separation between the honey and the brood. So you have to, if you're going to take honey from them, you've just got to do it with a knife and cut it out.
It's not all about honey though, is it?
No,
absolutely. It's interesting to see how the bees behave in the natural environment, but in a hive, but just let them get on with it.
Yeah, that's right.
It is a lovely spot here.
It is, yeah. And there's lots of spring flowers in the meadows, and lots of trees yielding,
and hedgerows. So I bet the springtime's beautiful.
Yeah, and brambles everywhere, of course. So, and right now there's loads of ivy, so that's a good bonus. That beds them down for the winter nicely.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Phil. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Kath.
Lovely to see you again.
You too.
And hopefully it won't be so long next time.
No.
And we'll see you up in our apiary up in Lancashire somewhere.
That would be great. Love to see that.
Come to our gin distillery. Ooh. We've moved now. We're not at the hall anymore.
You're not?
No, we've now moved to a farm, about 500 yards from our house, and there's a gin distillery on site. So it won't be port. It'll be gin next time that we'll get you drunk on. Well, thanks for your time. Really appreciate that. Lovely to see you again, and lovely to meet some of your bees. You're very well behaved bees.
They are well behaved. Yeah.
They're lovely.
Yeah.